Hey everyone, it's Rita here. So I'm just going to show you how to make your own chest rubs. So chest rubs it's coming into the cooler parts of the year, and having a chest rub around is going to be helpful when you've got those issues with needing to open the airways and just helping to support you. So you can go and purchase one and be not sure exactly what's in there. I'm going to show you how easy it is to actually make your own. So we're going to, I should have got another, I have got one here, hold on. Then I can see both the instructions and the method. The ingredients and the method. So we've got little chest rub recipes, but you can get it on our website as well. And we've got everything that you need on the website, including a little kit to make this as well. So it comes with everything, you just need to add your own essential oils. So let's get this started. It is so simple to make, and this feels amazing. You can also adjust this for whatever essential oils you want to have in there. So first thing we're going to do is put the shea butter and the beeswax into a glass container. Can you see that? Okay, so our shea butter, we're using, 30 grams. So what I tend to do when I'm making something is I have my my bowl or whatever I'm doing on my scales, and I probably should turn them on. And then I just tear it each time back or zero it out back to being able to put my next ingredient in there. It means that I don't have to wash so much stuff. I'm all about cutting down on the extra work. Just make that grams instead. There we go. So I want 30 grams of shea butter. Now shea butter is really good. You're going to use that in any kind of balm that you're making. It's a really good base, and you can just use shea butter on its own. You could even just use as a chest rub, even just some coconut oil and some drops of essential oil straight in the coconut oil. You don't have to make a like a chest rub. It can be super simple as doing it that way. So don't overcomplicate everything. It doesn't have to be like super special. Keep things easy so you actually do it. So the next thing that we're going to do is add our beeswax, which is 15 grams. And your beeswax is added in there because that helps to make it a bit harder. So you can adjust how much beeswax you put in if you want it to have a little bit more of a, not as thick. I don't know what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to put 15 grams in here. So if you put a bit more beeswax in, it'll be a harder mix. But you don't want it to be too hard because you want this to go on quite easily onto the chest. We've got 16 there. There we go, 15. So we're going to put this into the double boiler, and that'll just start to melt it down. You can't really see this. All I've got here is a saucepan with some water in it, and then I'm just going to turn that on and start to melt that down. It might get a little bit rattly, which is a bit annoying. I'll see if you can. It's literally just sitting there on my little stovetop thing there. So what we're going to do after that is, once these are melted down, and that's honestly, this part here is the longest part of the whole process, is waiting for beeswax particularly to melt, maybe shea butter as well, because everything else is pretty much liquid form. And once you've actually made the whole process, the whole product, you need to let it cool down a little bit to put your essential oils in. So this is as hard as it gets. Okay, I'm not a huge, I'm going to go and make all these amazing cool things because I get overwhelmed by how to do a lot of stuff. This is it. This is literally as simple as it is. So I'm going to mix that around. The problem with doing these on a live too is this is what takes longer. Okay, so let that bubble away. Now what we want to do is look at some of the oils that we can use in a chest rub. So the ones that we have, we've got a selection here, and this mix actually works really well for a chest rub, but you can just use something like there's an Easy Air or Clarify or something like that that will help to open the airways. It doesn't have to be a combination of oils. So in this one we've got lavender. I'll actually take the lids off as I'm doing this, but you know, this is so simple to do, really. We've got lavender, we've got tea tree. Tea tree is really good because it will help to, lavender is very calming. It helps to calm down those the airways that are a little bit irritated as well. It's quite calming. Tea tree, it's great for bacterial issues, so it's really helpful in that regard. So we've got our tea tree, then Siberian Fir. Any of your firs, you can actually substitute this for even Douglas fir is another one, or any of your furs that go in, or white fir if you've still got any white fir. This is a really great one. It opens those airways. So white fir is fantastic for that. I'm going to turn them that way so I can actually see which ones are which. So we've got our lemon. So a lot of these oils you might find are often used in any kind of immune support type things. So lemon, I just love lemon. I'm actually a big fan of all of your citrus type of oils. So that's a bonus for me. And citrus oils help you feel better. So you can be using something like the citrus oil for the physical benefits, but emotionally it makes you feel better too. Then we've got eucalyptus, and most people would know about eucalyptus from mum would always use eucalyptus, and it's always great to help with those coughs and supporting the airways as well. Let's give this a stir. So we melt it down a little bit. So a lot of these essential oils will also have properties there that will help the body to heal as well. So anything that you're using will not only affect the airways, but will also help to support the immune system in your body too. Then we've got peppermint. Now peppermint is amazing at opening up those airways. It's really quite powerful and strong. If you have got young kids, you might want to, like under 3 or 4, you might want to actually leave this out and use something like Easy Air, or just leave it out altogether. It's totally up to you. Same with eucalyptus. Some people find that they don't want to use that. It's totally up to you. You can adjust this recipe for the age that you're using it for. The thing that I have is, if you've ever seen we did actually put up a post on our Facebook page about the comparison of a very popular vapor rub and making this particular recipe, okay? So in that vapor rub, they have essential, well, it actually says oils. It doesn't say whether it's an essential oil, it doesn't say what kind of oil it is, etc. It has some ingredients in there that I would be putting on a child. So there's things to weigh up about what ingredients you want to use in your products based on, this is a natural option, but there are issues just to be aware of. So we've got our peppermint, and that one is also quite cooling too, so it kind of cools down that chest area. Cedarwood is great if you've got issues with any kind of coughing. Cedarwood is one that I never used to use before. There's not a lot in there. I bought the wrong bottle in here. So cedarwood, great for popping in your diffuser too to help with the airways. Has any of you ever made your own chest rub? Have you done this before? Is there a particular product that you like to use as a supporting of the airways option? I'm getting there with this. Give it a bit of a stir. Now the last oil that we've got is actually frankincense. Now frankincense is an amazing oil for boosting the benefits of the other oils that are in there, and it's great for supporting the immune system. So I love using frankincense. It smells absolutely amazing. It's so good. So the combinations of these oils in this mix have all got different things that they will help with. And like I said, you might want to choose something that is, you don't even have to use this as a chest rub. You could use this as some kind of balm. I said we do have a balm recipe, so there's lots of different ways that, this is kind of the thing that is quite amusing when you make your DIY stuff. It's literally the same ingredients, just in different quantities, making your product. So it's really, really easy to get your bulk. So this is only a small tub of shea butter. This is 250 grams. In there, that's going to last you ages. Okay, so getting your ingredients like your bicarb and your citric acid and all that, doing all your cleaning things, they're going to last you forever, and you can actually use those ingredients for other things. So your shea butter, your beeswax as well. These kind of things are multi-use, and you might get a whole stack of things because you want to make the chest rub, but then you've got the ingredients to be able to make a lot of other things. So our healing salve is amazing. That is absolutely phenomenal, and we use that all the time at home. It has some really powerful oils in there, but it's also very soothing without the oils. So you can just make that up as a just like a healing salve, just with the ingredients that are in there without adding your essential oils. The essential oils are super powerful. So one tip when you are making anything with beeswax, we're getting right down to this nearly having melted down. If you've got any little bits of beeswax in there and they are not melted fully, you'll get a gritty feel to anything that you're making. So your lip balms, your chest rubs, all that kind of stuff. Make sure, that's probably the number one tip, make sure that your beeswax is fully melted. Has anyone ever done that before, where they've made it and they've got like little bits in there, and maybe you want to have an exfoliating lip balm, which you can do. You could add some little things into there. There's, what is it called? Walnut hulls. There's, you can actually get pumice as well, things that you can actually put in there, and it makes it like a little lip scrub, or just make your own lip scrub with some oil and sugar. You can scrub your lips that way. Alright, we're nearly there. We've got a couple more little ones to melt down. And then what we need to do too when we are making this, ideally, is to allow the essential oils in here to go into something that's not really hot, because when you do put your essential oils into something that is at a high heat, it will affect the chemical constituents that are in there, and it'll still smell good, but you may not get the benefits of the essential oils as much as you would like. So as we add the other ingredients in here, it will actually cool it down a little bit. We've got one more in here that we're just waiting on. Alright, so at the moment it looks pretty much like when I make lip balm as well. So these are, the only difference with lip balm is I will have a, what's it called, cocoa butter as well. So we add our shea butter, cocoa butter. Instead of the coconut oil, I will use a fractionated coconut oil. So the reason that we have our coconut oil in this one is because it gives it a really lovely texture. It's quite soft and it'll feel similar to like a vapor rub that you might purchase elsewhere. So we are melted, so we can turn that off. And next thing we're going to do, let me read my recipe. Once the shea butter and beeswax is melted fully, add in the coconut oil and carrier oil and mix well until combined. I'm just going to sit this on here. You can still see that, so I'm going to turn my thing back on. I'm just going to move my boiling water so I don't knock it on myself. Well, I nearly did that. So we want to add our fractionated coconut oils is 40 grams. So I'm going to put that one straight in. So fractionated coconut oil is normal coconut oil that has had the medium chain fatty acids removed from it, so it doesn't solidify. It also doesn't smell like coconut oil, so when you open a coconut oil bottle, you'll probably find that it smells quite like coconut. So it doesn't happen in this regard, so it'll stay solid. So this is actually starting to have a bit of a reaction already. And then we've got our carrier oil, and our coconut oil is 40 grams. So that's just, this is normal coconut oil. I didn't put that in before, did I? Shea butter, beeswax, and we're putting in our coconut oil, which is 40 grams as well. Just going to zero that off. And because this is coconut oil, it will melt into that hot ingredient that are already in there. It'll melt down really well. So you don't need to put it back over the double boiler. And there we go. So far, all of these ingredients are super safe to be using. When I say super safe, then there's nothing about them that's kind of concerning at all. A lot of them you can actually eat too. They're not about eating beeswax and probably not shea butter, but if you ate it, it's not actually toxic, so it's not the end of the world. So I'm just waiting for this to melt down. Squashing that in. So you can see we've got this lovely mix, and that will just harden up really nicely like when you pour it into the container. And then move that out of the way. So it's still quite warm on there. And what we want to do is add in, I think it's 3 drops of vitamin E. So the vitamin E we've got in like a pump, and I'm just going to do a few pumps in there. So it's more than a couple of drops. That's a natural preservative, so it's natural vitamin E. So that'll help to preserve this, but it's also really good for your skin. Vitamin E is a fantastic addition. So because this is just going to be a display in our shop, I'm not too worried about putting my essential oils straight into this mix. So I'm quite happy to put them straight in. And I'm also going to be making up some extras of this and putting them in samples and sending them out to people who order from us for a while. So we'll have some little gifts for people. So what I'm going to do is I'll go through in order. So 5 drops of lavender. I can't talk when I do this. 5 drops of cedarwood, and I don't know if I have enough in this bottle. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cedarwood, peppermint, 5 drops. And then eucalyptus, we've got 5 drops as well. And tea tree. And Siberian Fir is also 5. It smells amazing in here. It's like, it's so good. And then 3 drops of lemon. Sorry, 4 drops, not 3. And then 3 drops of frankincense. Well, I'm just putting an extra one in there for fun. So just going to mix that around. It doesn't take much extra, and you can see that this is all combined. It's all melted down. And then all you need to do is get your little containers. So you can use the little aluminium containers. You could use plastic containers. This is actually a glass container that comes with our chest rub kit. And then this is as simple as it is. You melt things down, and then you pour it into, oh, that's, you can smell the Siberian Fir. It's so good. You melt things down, and then you put it into a container. So it's really, really easy to do. Trust me when I say if I can do it, anyone can do it. I'm going to leave that there. So I'm going to use some of this. I'll send it out as samples as well. So all I would do now, you're not going to be able to see that in there. It smells so good. All I'm going to do is leave that to sit so that it will harden up, and it's actually starting to solidify a little bit now because the jar is cooler than the area, so I can see around the rim there that it's starting to solidify. So I'll just set that aside, and I'll do things like, you can get little containers like this, you can get little lip balm tubs, and you can have some of this chest rub that you can take with you. So this might be the one that you have at home. You can then take things out in your bag if you need it. As it's getting cooler, our chest will often constrict with the cool air, the cool dry air. I find that too. Some nights I'll just be coughing. I'm not sick. There's just irritations there, and putting something over my chest makes things so much easier for me. So get little containers. These are really, really little ones, but you can get 10 grams or I think we've got 15 grams and 25 gram containers. This one here is 120 mils. So you can see there's so much in there that you could actually make a whole lot of little ones as well. So that is as simple as it is to make your chest rub. I hope that has shown you that it's possible, because if I can do it, literally anyone can do it. It's as simple as ingredients in, melting them, pouring them into a container. So I'd love to know how you guys go making your own. If you've got any tips on maybe some favourite combinations that you would normally put in there, oil combinations. But yeah, leave us a comment how it goes with it, and tell us what you think. See ya.